Just when Nigerians are thinking of how to cope with the upcoming tax implementation, which is barely about 10 days from today, because this new tax, which will be implemented, starts from the 1st of January 2026. As of today, I'm making this video, there is a new alleged story from the Senate. The Senate is saying that what was agreed on and voted on concerning the tax system is different from what has been released to the public, meaning that what was signed is different. What they deliberated on is different. I want you to hear this first, then we will come back to analyze the things that are quite different.
Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm here today because my privilege has been breached as a member of this all-important House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we passed the tax laws on this floor, and Mr. Speaker, I took my time in the last 3 days to look at the gazetted pass copy, the vote and proceedings of the House of Representatives, and also went an extra mile to look at the vote and proceedings of the Senate of what was harmonized. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, what I passed on this floor is not what is gazetted. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I have all the copies, but I'm coming under privilege because I was here, I gave my vote, and it was counted, and I'm seeing something completely different. So on that note, on this privilege, I will call on Mr. Speaker to graciously look at what was harmonized, what is in the gazetted copy, what was passed in the House and the Senate. You will find out what is before Nigerians, which is being sold to Nigerians at the Ministry of Information, which I personally went to buy the gazetted copies, are not what was passed. So there is no motion here, but Mr. Speaker, I'll be pleading that all the documents should be brought before the Committee of the Whole. The whole members should see what is in the gazetted, should see what they passed on the floor, so that we can make the relevant amendment. Mr. Speaker, this is a breach of the Constitution, this is a breach of our laws, and this should not be taken by this honorable House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
You've heard what the Honorable House has said. Someone has pointed out that it is quite different. And allegedly, we are going to make comparison to what was signed and what was released to the public, according to what we have, the information we've gotten. All right. First of all, I want you to note that the difference might not be that much. All right. It's not much and possibly might not really affect a lot of things, but there is quite a difference. So first of all, on our list, there's a tax appeal. You pay before appeal. So now, before the House of the House of Assembly and the Senate has agreed that one can make an appeal on what he or she feels he or she is not okay with from the tax given to him, because you know that at the end of the day you'll be told what you are supposed to pay, your tax, or what it should be, so you can appeal. But currently the new rule states that you can't appeal till you've made payment of what that amount is. So now, if you're giving a tax of 10,000 naira as your tax, you will pay that tax before you make an appeal stating, oh, okay, I feel this, I feel this or that, before you can say what you feel, or before you can do whatever, stating that you don't like what has been done, or there is something wrong. You must first of all pay what the appeal, you must first of all pay what your tax is. Secondly, the expanded enforcement power. The Senate agreed that there will be an enforcement of power, because for any rule or law to work, there has to be a level of enforcement. There should be a group of people ready to checkmate if that thing works or not. You get? And just like we have punishment for every crime being committed, same thing goes for this tax. So now before it was the first tax that was agreed on, the enforcement was that there will be an enforcement of all this, but it has to follow the due process and checks, meaning you won't forcefully make someone to do what he or she is supposed not to does not want to do when it comes to the payments. All right, so the agreement was that, assuming someone refuses to pay, you'll be like, okay, you call the person, you invite the person just like the EFCC does. They invite you for interrogation or for you to answer or tell you there's a case against you. Same thing with this. You'll be invited and you'll be told, oh, we notice you've not paid, or we notice that, and then you say what is the problem, or you give an answer. But now the agreement is that there will be possible things that will happen to whoever does not pay. There will be freezing of accounts. There will be enforced collection of aggressively, meaning they could collect it aggressively, and you'll be penalized if you default. So there will be a penalty for those that default, and there will be less clarity on safeguards. So meaning there will be other checkmating in place. That is what it means, not necessarily following the process of and the check-ins that needs to be followed. So the third thing on the list is a reduced legislative oversight. The one that the Senate saw is that the revenue service action subject to clear oversight, meaning that the parliament remains a strong supervisor to the role of this tax. All right, but now it shows that there is a few checks in which the National Assembly can check, meaning there's a restriction on them, not totally but to an extent. Fourthly, an altered revenue service. So before now, the first tax law that was passed was that there is a clear limit on what the border power can do, the executive authority can do, and the internal control can do, meaning that there was a limit to what the executive could do, which is the president and some other arms could do. But now, from the gazetted version, it shows that accounts will be handled and audited, and more of the auditing, the internal approvals and everything will strengthen more of the executive control. So meaning that executive control will have the upper hand. All right. Fifth says that there will be a clear boundary between the federal and the state and the local government tax, meaning that we have in Nigeria, we have the federal level, we have the state level, the local government level. That is why we have local government chairmans. We still have a representative for the states, and we also have our governor for the states, and then for the federation as a whole, we have the president. So now the public gazetted one is that it shows that there will be, or rather there is possibility, allegedly there will be it encourages a multiple taxation. It blurs the federal versus the state power. So meaning that there is every possibility that the payment you'll be making will be more, because you will remit to the state, remit to the federal, and possibly remit to the local government, the local. So with these 5 points, these are the differences. All right. Allegedly, these are the gazetted version that every public is seeing. But I want us to talk about what has remained the same. We say that the VAT rate still remains 7.5%. We said that whoever is earning below 800,000 is exempted, and then whoever is not working or doing anything is also exempted. um we say names of the four tax law implement. And another thing is that it remains that the implementation starts from January. All right. There's nothing like it was suspended or being shifted. So these are um the things that have remained the same. So I want you to tell me what you think about this whole thing. Do you think that the changes are really significant? And do you think it will be a big deal? Because if you notice from what the House of Assembly was saying, the representative, he sounded very he sounded as if his rights have been jeopardized and everything. So he sounded like it's a big and a serious issue that needs to be looked into. So what do you think? Having known the difference now, what do you think? What do you think? Will this build Nigerian better? Will this be another form of extortation, or what do you think? I want to know in the comments. Now note that this channel does not support any form of violence in words or in how you react. So please be respectful while commenting. So please let's know your thoughts in the comments. Please do well to like, share, and subscribe to this channel as we bring you updates, we bring you news, we bring you trends on what and other stuffs happening around the world. All right, see you on the next upload. I'll be waiting in the comments.